crowded room, chatter slicing the air, then a hush as you step through the doorway. Eyes flick, smiles stiffen, laughter drops a decibel. Carl Jung would lean in and whisper, "It's not that you're strange, it's that you mirror what others refuse to see." If that line snaps their attention, keep them glued, because in the next 1,000 words we'll uncover why your very presence unsettles people, how Jung decoded this phenomenon, and how you can turn that restless energy into quiet power. You carry a silent spotlight, Jung would say, and it shines straight into the unconscious of everyone you meet. Most people drift through life ruled by unexamined shadows, fears, envy, unlived dreams. When you walk in with a clear gaze, a centered posture, or simply an aura of self-awareness, their shadows twitch awake. They feel it in microseconds, an unease that has nothing to do with your outfit, your resume, or your small talk. It's their disowned parts banging the cellar door. Jung called this psychic boomerang projection. Imagine each person wears invisible glasses painted with their own unacknowledged traits. See a confident woman, their hidden insecurity slaps onto her. Meet a contemplative man, their buried restlessness coats him. When you arrive embodying qualities they've stuffed away, authenticity, intensity, spiritual curiosity, you become a living screen for their projections. The discomfort you witness is actually self-discomfort ricocheting off you. Take the archetype of the seer or outsider. Jung noticed that individuals in touch with inner truth often stir collective anxiety. Think of prophets in ancient myths, the village shaman, even the modern whistleblower. Their role is to reveal unseen realities. People crave truth yet dread exposure, so they oscillate, drawn to you, then repelled. Compliments morph into subtle jabs, invitations dry up without explanation. It's easier to exile the mirror than face the reflection. You might ask, can I dim the light to fit in? Jung would caution against it. When you shrink, you confirm others' belief that authenticity is unsafe. The real alchemy lies in holding your presence without aggression and without apology, being a calm lighthouse, not a roaming searchlight. Here's how. First, stay rooted in self-knowledge. Regular introspection, journaling, dream work, meditation keeps your own shadows in check, so you don't unconsciously inflate and trigger unnecessary resistance. When you know your weaknesses, insults lose bite. When you own your desires, envy can't hook you. Second, practice energetic hygiene. Before entering social spaces, imagine a thin, permeable bubble around you, not a fortress, but a membrane. It lets empathy flow out yet filters toxic projections coming in. A simple breath ritual, inhale clarity, exhale others' static, prevents you from absorbing emotions that aren't yours. Third, develop compassionate X-ray vision. When someone bristles at your calm or mocks your depth, translate their behavior. They're meeting their disowned intensity right now. This mental captioning turns potential offense into insight. You respond with steadiness rather than defense, subtly teaching them self-reflection. Fourth, offer strategic vulnerability. Share a relatable flaw or anecdote early in interactions. This signals you're human, not a flawless judge. Vulnerability disarms projection, inviting others to lower their shields and meet you in authenticity. But what about chronic discomfort? Those colleagues or relatives who never soften? Jung believed some relationships thrive only at a respectful distance. You're not required to be everyone's comfort zone. Your task is individuation, becoming whole, not universally liked. If your presence continually rattles certain people, bless them inwardly, release expectation, and invest energy where resonance flows. Notice too how your mere existence can catalyze hidden admiration. Some who act uneasy are secretly inspired. They just lack the language to express it. Months later, they might seek your counsel. Patience is key. Jung compared it to planting seeds in frozen ground. You don't yank them to sprout, you wait for their spring. Let's ground this in an everyday scenario. You join a new team meeting brimming with ideas. Within minutes, a teammate rolls her eyes each time you speak. Instead of internalizing the sting, you silently ask, what might my enthusiasm mirror in her? Perhaps unrealized ambitions. You temper your delivery, still vibrant, but inviting her perspective. You've neither dimmed your light nor blinded her. You've offered a shared glow. Over weeks, eye rolls wane, collaboration begins. There's also the matter of body language. Jungian analysts note that grounded posture, spine tall yet relaxed, broadcasts self-possession. People unused to such steadiness may feel exposed. If you soften your shoulders and maintain gentle eye contact, you signal safety while remaining true to yourself. Small shifts convert intimidating intensity into magnetic gravitas. Spiritual presence can unsettle too. If you meditate regularly, your calm may contrast sharply with collective anxiety, creating a pressure differential people sense subconsciously. Counterbalance it with light humor or attentive listening. Humor acts like a pressure valve, equalizing the atmosphere without sacrificing depth. Remember, discomfort isn't always negative. Growth sprouts in tension. Your presence might spark someone's first step towards self-discovery. They may resist today and thank you years later. Your job is to embody alignment, providing a living invitation. Still, protect your energy. After social exposure, rinse off projections through creative expression. Play music, walk in nature, write uncensored pages. This resets your field, so you re-enter the world clear. Finally, flip the mirror inward. Whose presence makes you uncomfortable? Track your own projections. The traits you judge in others often point to unlived aspects within yourself. Embrace them, and your tolerance expands, refining the very light that stirs others. So next time you notice the room tense as you arrive, hear Jung's voice. They are meeting themselves in you. Stand easy. Breathe. Let your authenticity ring like a tuning fork. Some instruments will vibrate in harmony, others may rattle off-key, but the symphony of collective awakening needs every clear note. And your note, however disquieting, is essential. Quietly, the scene resets. Another gathering, softer lighting, yet the same undertow. People sense you before they see you. In part 1, we exposed Jung's core idea that your presence magnifies the unseen contents of others' psyches. Now we advance the story, turning raw theory into lived mastery, so you can navigate any room with grace and without sacrificing an ounce of authenticity. Lean in. The next 1,000 words refine your power. Begin with self-attunement in the first 12 seconds after entering a space. Most people scan the crowd. Instead, drop inward. Feel the weight of your feet, the stretch of your ribs, the rhythm of your pulse. This micro-grounding acts like tuning a guitar before a performance. It steadies your signal, so projections slide off rather than sticking. Jung found that patients who practiced somatic awareness reported fewer social static shocks because their nervous systems broadcast coherence rather than reactive spikes. Next, calibrate your field through breath pacing. Inhale for 4 counts, exhale for 6. The elongation of the out-breath activates the parasympathetic system, radiating calm waves that subconsciously coax others into slower heartbeats. You're not manipulating, you're offering regulation. When someone's discomfort eases before a word is spoken, you know the breath trick is working. Now address the elephant. What if the atmosphere stays tense? Jung advised an interior mantra. This is not about me. It is about what I represent to them. Silently repeating that phrase severs the reflex to personalize hostility. It's like stepping out of a splash zone. You watch water fly without getting drenched. But presence is two-way. Your own projections can amplify tension. Conduct a quick shadow audit. Whom in the room do you instantly judge? That snap judgment often reveals a disowned trait. Maybe laissez-faire attitudes you secretly crave or ambition you're downplaying. Acknowledge it. Watch judgment dissolve. As your inner lens clears, Outer resistance often softens in tandem. Let's add a tactical layer: conversational judo. If someone masks discomfort with sarcasm, "Wow, you're intense, aren't you?" respond with playful self-acceptance. "Intense about things I care about, yeah. What topic lights you up?" You flipped critique into sharing, demonstrating that authenticity can be warm, not confrontational. Another strategy is the mirrored question. When you sense defensiveness, offer a gentle reflection. Suppose a colleague snaps, "That idea is too risky." Meet it with, "I hear risk concerns. Which part feels most uncertain for you?" This invites them to own their anxiety rather than dumping it. Often, naming the fear halves its power. Jung also taught the value of symbolic shields, small talismans that remind you of inner strength. A stone in your pocket, a ring, a mantra on a bracelet. Touch it when projection spikes. Let its texture trigger the memory that your worth is intrinsic, not vote-based. But you're not meant to be a perpetual shield bearer. Choose your arenas wisely. Jung likens certain environments to low-frequency swamps, where deep talk suffocates. If a venue chronically drags you down, gossip-soaked break rooms, doom-scroll dinner tables, limit exposure. Withdrawal isn't defeat, it's energy stewardship. Now let's pivot toward alchemy, turning discomfort into catalytic influence. Picture Maya, an introverted project manager whose calm unnerves her high-strung team. Instead of shrinking, she schedules a weekly 5-minute mindfulness kickoff. Lights dimmed, eyes closed, simple breathing. The first sessions feel awkward. Jokes fly. 3 weeks in, deadlines hit, stress surges, and those same teammates request extra minutes of breathing. Maya's presence has transmuted from unsettling mirror to welcome sanctuary. You can emulate this alchemy through anchor offerings. Short practices you introduce to groups, grounding breaths before negotiations, one-word check-ins during family dinners. At first, resistance may flare. Stay steady. Over time, people unconsciously associate your presence with relief and clarity. Still, there will be holdouts. Jung spoke of sealed vessels, personalities so defended that any mirror is perceived as assault. With them, practice compassionate distance. Brief eye contact, polite words, minimal entanglement. Your energy is precious fuel. Spend it where ignition is possible. Remember, too, that discomfort can morph into fascination. Think of artists ahead of their era. Frida Kahlo, Prince, initially branded odd, later revered. If your projects or ideas stir unease, they may simply be pioneering. Document them, refine them, release them strategically. Today's tension could be tomorrow's inspiration. On a personal level, harness the charge you generate. After social exposure, don't slump into exhaustion. Funnel the residual electricity into art, workouts, or strategy sessions. Jung observed that psychic backflow quickly becomes creative propulsion when consciously rerouted. Nightly integration is essential. Before sleep, replay the day's trickiest encounter. See the faces, feel the emotion, then imagine rewinding and bathing the scene in warm light. Bless them silently. May you know your whole self. This ritual clears lingering projections so they don't haunt your dreams. Speaking of dreams, keep tracking them. If you frequently dream of crowded rooms or staring eyes, your psyche is processing social projection themes. Look for symbols, masks falling, mirrors breaking, that signal progress toward deeper self-acceptance. Note shifts. Nightmares of judgment may evolve into dreams of performing confidently or guiding others through labyrinths. Let's talk legacy ripple. The steadier you become, the more you model a new social norm. One where authenticity replaces facade. Children, interns, even strangers notice. Your balanced presence gives silent permission for them to explore their own shadows without shame. That's long-term cultural healing, seed by seed. Yet don't glamorize the path. Some evenings you'll feel raw, questioning whether authenticity is worth the friction. When that happens, retreat gently. Bath, journal, favorite song on repeat. Self-soothe without numbing. Remember Jung's reassurance. The psyche periodically contracts to digest growth before expanding anew. A word on humor. Wield it like a tuning fork. A well-timed chuckle at your own quirks diffuses tension faster than profound monologues. Laughter vibrates below ego defenses, aligning people and shared humanity. Jung himself had a mischievous streak. He'd tell a joke right after unveiling a deep insight, letting levity settle the revelation. As we glide toward closure, revisit the doorway scene. This time, you step in grounded, breathing slow, subtle smile. Eyes still turn, atmospheres still shift, but you sense curiosity swirled with the discomfort. You embody steadiness. Conversation flows. Some peel away, others draw near, and you are at ease with both outcomes. That is the fruit of Jungian presence work. The freedom to be wholly yourself while holding space for others to meet themselves, whether they choose to or not. Carry this toolkit into tomorrow's rooms. Root, breathe, mirror with compassion, shield when necessary, offer anchors, convert backlash into art, laugh often, rest deeply. Your presence will still unsettle, because truth unsettles, but it will also awaken, inspire, and eventually heal. And when doubt whispers, hear Jung's gentle reminder echo. The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. Trust the reaction. It means transformation is underway, starting with you and rippling outward into a world hungry for unmasked souls. Picture yourself on a stage, spotlights glare, rows of faces blur, and that familiar ripple of discomfort spreads through the crowd even before you utter a syllable. This is the grand arena where Jungian presence meets performance. The trick isn't to calm them first, it's to calibrate the charge into magnetism. Start with a charged pause. Step up, plant your feet, breathe once, and let silence hang for 3 beats. Audiences lean in. They feel both their anticipation and their unease. You feel rooted authority. Jung called this holding the tension of opposites. Your calm spine against their fluttering nerves creates a psychic circuit that lights the room. When you speak, lay your tempo. Begin slow, let consonants land. This mirrors your grounded heartbeat, inviting theirs to sync. Then, as points rise, quicken pace, infuse energy. You conduct the crowd's nervous system the way a DJ rides a bass line. Jung noted that great orators unconsciously modulate collective shadow by modulating cadence, slowing to surface buried feelings, speeding to transmute them into action. Remember storytelling as shadow alchemy. Share a brief confession. I used to dread these spotlights. Then show how you integrated that fear. Listeners project their own anxieties onto your story, feel seen, then glimpse a pathway out. Discomfort shifts into admiration because you've modeled transformation rather than preached it. Leadership settings echo the stage. A project kickoff can bristle when your presence reveals team stagnation. Use transparent framing. You may notice I work differently. Slower meetings, deeper questions. It can feel odd. Give it a week. Judge by the clarity we gain. Naming unease reduces its unconscious bite. Schedule temperature checks. 5-minute rounds where members voice how the new rhythm feels. This surfaces projections early, preventing toxic buildup. Dating offers another crucible. Romantic prospects may find your depth thrilling yet intimidating. Combat the pedestal effect with play. Suggest an activity that amplifies silliness. Karaoke, trampoline park. Shared laughter helps partners experience your humanity, not just your insight. Jung argued Eros thrives when spirit and play intermingle. Otherwise, reverence turns brittle. Online spaces magnify projection times 10 because screens strip nuance. A single tweet radiating authenticity might spark praise and backlash simultaneously. Apply time lag discipline. Wait 15 minutes before responding to provocative comments. During the gap, breathe, identify potential shadow hooks, ego flare, justice impulse, then craft replies or silence, from centered choice, not reflex. Jung would liken this to alchemical cooling. Temper the metal before forging ahead. Let's weave in technology's safeguards. Curate your feed with the 3-mirror rule. Each follow must 1. Reflect a skill you aspire to. 2. Mirror a value you live. Or 3. Challenge a bias you're ready to confront. Anything else? Mute. This minimizes random projection triggers while keeping growth edges alive. Case study. Reva, a visionary coder, live streams deep dive tutorials. Early viewers drop snide remarks. Show off? Too intense. Ravi resists the urge to defend. Instead, he pins a comment. Intensity is my superpower. If you prefer quick hacks, hundreds of channels fit better. Result? Critics exit. Serious learners stay. Community loyalty triples. By owning his presence and offering clear choice, he transforms discomfort into self-selection. Let's address high-stakes conflict. Suppose a boardroom ally turns adversary, painting you as arrogant. Use Jung's active listening loop. Paraphrase their accusation. You feel my approach sidelines your expertise. And ask if accurate. This unexpected mirroring disarms aggression. They feel heard, and reveals deeper fears, loss of influence, relevance. Co-create a path that honors their role while preserving your vision. This synthesizes opposites into a larger whole, the essence of individuation applied to teams. Spiritual contexts bring unique ripples. Meditation circles can weaponize love and light to shun uncomfortable mirrors. If your presence stirs their unprocessed anger, they may label you too negative. Respond by validating your full spectrum. Anger surfaces to protect boundaries. Compassion walks alongside. Embody both, demonstrating that awakened consciousness includes shadow, not denial. Advanced energetic hygiene involves auric choreography. Visualize your energy body expanding slightly beyond skin, about 6 inches, when you wish to invite connection, and contracting to hug your core in hostile environments. With practice, this subtle modulation becomes instinctive, reducing psychic fatigue. Dreamwork deepens here. Before sleep, set an intention. Show me how today's projections refine my purpose. Upon waking, jot sensory fragments, colors, emotions, landscapes. Look for motives. Bridges may signify integration. Storms signal psychic clearing. Act on dream counsel immediately. Send that email. Tweet that project. So unconscious and conscious cooperate, reducing future social friction. Notice bodily clues of unresolved projection. Tight jaw post-meeting. Might hold words unsaid. Release via humming or jaw massage. Heavy chest after family call. Unexpressed grief. Write an unmailed letter. The faster you somatically metabolize, the less residue colors tomorrow's presence. Let's scale to macro impact. Communities facing injustice often vilify truth speakers. Study history's pattern. Socrates, Harriet Tubman, Malala. Each weathered collective discomfort to shift paradigms. Though stakes may differ, when you voice forgotten truths at town halls or classrooms, you join that lineage. Equip yourself with factual rigor, empathic framing, and support networks. Jung believed individuals carrying cultural shadow need tribe backup to avoid burnout. Speaking of tribe, cultivate rotating mirrors. Mentors, peers, mentees. Mentors challenge grandeur. Peers keep you real. Mentees remind you how far you've come. This triad balances humility and confidence, ensuring your presence remains potent yet grounded. When fatigue hits, deploy the 24-hour vanish. No announcements, just slip offline, wander woods, read poetry. Absence recalibrates field strength. On return, Note who respects your boundary. Align future commitments accordingly. We're nearing the crescendo. Presence mastery isn't about smoothing every ripple. It's about surfing the waves with poise. Some rooms will always buzz when you enter. Smile at the buzz. It signals aliveness. Your job is to channel that charge into creation, connection, and change. Seal this lesson with Jung's late life reflection. The greater the light, the darker the shadow. Yet only where light and shadow meet does life flower. Stand at that meeting point. Illuminate without scorching, reflect without absorbing, challenge without condemning. Do this, and discomfort becomes a compass pointing the world and you toward authentic evolution.